we will be your best partners, dream teams, to make a dream team.
Well, I will come back again to tourism, and we have our tourism ministry was speaking about different ways of promoting tourism between Egypt and Korea. How do you think, if you can be a little bit more specific, can this be promoted? Mr. Woong or Mr. Kang?
You know, the Egypt and Korea far away. So in my case, almost 20 hours from Seoul to Cairo. So we, in order to promote more, the more many people come exchange visit together, we need some non-stop flight.
Yes, I was just going to ask you, are there direct flights or it's not direct?
Now, we don't have a direct flight.
No direct flight from Egypt to Korea.
But I believe if you worked on that, this will
facilitate. That's one thing that should, maybe that could help.
So, we asked about this, talking about with the Minister of Tourism, we need some direct flight. It can make many people want to...
Make it a lot easier.
Very easier.
Okay. And anything else that
I like Egypt is a gift of lives. So if we meet the Egypt, we meet the longest world history. So we believe the peoples who once drink a drop of water in the Nile rivers, we never pay to come back against Egypt. That's my
Speaking about rivers, there's also a lot to learn and to get inspired by the miracle on the Han River that Korea achieved. What are the main components of this Korean achievement, if you can tell us more?
This is based on the education investment. The Korean tradition is they like to the children educate as early as possible. So they learn step by step. So I think the education investment, number one. The second one is diligence. Korean people, we had a very lots of the hardship like Egypt. So maybe the hardship make the people very diligent. And another thing is patriotic. When we had some the currency crisis 2008, the Korean people started to collect gold to compensate to that. But we are very impressed about those Egyptians. Very greatly, when you build the new Suez Canal, I heard the Egyptian people collected the money to collect. We are very impressed. Also, we've been there because very quickly time. This is almost completed.
You've been to the Suez Canal project.
Our politicians be there. So we are thinking about Egypt is a very creative country, very creative people. Maybe you can also soon become a type of a Nile.
Well, and I will come back again maybe to the cultural aspect. I know that, as Karim was saying, 2011 was the first, the Korean Culture Center in Egypt was established, and it was the first of its kind in the Middle East. What do you think, or what are your expectations, or what is the role, do you think, of that cultural center maybe, or the cultural aspect regarding Egypt and Korea?
Last year, the two leaders between two countries at Yeon, they had some discuss about that they promote more cultural exchanges. So I think this center will provide more the Korean cultural some good quality, and also we would like to learn some from the Egyptian side. Maybe we exchange cultural this one. So I think maybe this end of this year and next year we can participate in some.
Has anything actually happened in terms of culture? Has there been any exchange the past year that has actually happened?
I don't know exactly.
Not yet?
I don't know, but now I hope so many people want to exchange the cultural activities. Maybe taekwondo, the taekwondo, Korean traditional martial arts. So we are considering the participate taekwondo the martial team as the part of the cultural exchange. Also, we think about some many cultural, the Korean K-pop, Korean pop. Korean thing.
Okay.
It's very
Gangnam
famous.
Style, you know?
You know the Gangnam Style.
Yes, yes.
Like this.
Of course,
very
Gangnam
iconic
Style.
culture.
Yes.
So we learned lots of the very beautiful, very lovely Egyptian culture. Also we can invite them to Korea. So we have a very great exchange. Yes.
An exchange of culture.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we would like to give you a couple more minutes to add any more comments that you'd like to add.
So I'd like to add the one thing is that to help to cooperate between two countries, I'd like to recommend Egypt government. You must pave the very attractive highways to introduce the investor. Then so many investors will compete to enter the break into the Egypt markets. So in advance, you must give some attractive environment for the investor.
For investors. And Mr. Woong?
Okay. I am the public relations ambassador for Gangwon province. You know the Gangwon province by neighboring Seoul. Gangwon province is the site for 2018 Winter Olympic Game site. So I am the ambassador for Gangwon province, and also Gangwon province wanted to have some hold 2017 World Islamic Business Forum that place. So would you like to invite Egypt and the related Arab countries, Arab brothers? So we can also have some good relationship with Giza city. Cairo Giza city, the symbol city of the summer. Gangwon province is the symbol city of the winter. So it's very ensemble. So we'd like to invite you and the support from you.
Thank you very much. Definitely, we can look into that.
Yes, and this is your invitation is very,
It's very kind.
Yes, that's very kind of you.
Yep. Well, let me also ask you again regarding the Egypt-Korean Friendship Association.
Yes.
How long has that been here in Egypt? It's an association created in Egypt. I mean, how long has it been here? If you could tell us a little bit about it as well.
I met the president of Egyptian side. We have some dinner 2 days ago.
Okay.
Egyptian side 20 years ago they established. But from Korean side,
20 years ago. And it's been active for 20 years?
So
I don't know.
17 years not inactive yet. Not active.
17 years inactive, not in
Last
activity.
years very active yet.
So the last 3 years it's been active.
active, yes.
Okay.
And I believe last year also there was a meeting between the Egyptian president and the Korean president. Were there any MOUs that were signed or bilateral cooperation in any field that is being implemented right now?
I think I know the last year, last year 23rd September, they met at the UN.
Yes, on the sidelines.
On the sidelines of the General Assembly.
Just exchange the views to promote cultural exchanges. But maybe this year and next year we can more develop both
Elaborate
countries.
more.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Well, I'd like to thank our guests, Mr. Woong Kang,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
founder and chairman of the Egypt-Korea Friendship Association, and Mr. Byun Yeon,
Thank you.
member of the Egypt-Korea Friendship Association. Is there anything that comes to mind, Kang, that you'd like to add before our gentlemen?
Have you visited any other touristic attractions in Egypt? And if you can tell us, away from the world of politics and economy, if you can tell us about your stay and did you have fun? Which places did you go to? And did you eat some of our Egyptian food? If you can tell us about your stay, how was it? How was your stay in Egypt?
Very fantastic. I've been here 6 times. Not first time. So whenever I visit here, I felt this country more lovely country, more stable country. So some people, something wrong broadcast on the TV, something very afraid, but whenever I'm here, very friendly, very good. So this is my second home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Byun?
So this is my second time visit.
It's your second time to
So I'm most impressed about the economic growth. It's very, the dynamics now. So I went to yesterday the old Cairo. Yeah,
Yep.
that's fantastic. Yeah, I'd like to compare again. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you liked it.
Old Cairo.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your insight and your visit to our studios. Thank you so much for being with us, and we
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate it.
It's my
And
pleasure. It's
thank
my
you very
pleasure.
much, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.